Alright, today I'm getting ready for eventual pump removal, and once the pump is going to be removed, I will know for sure exactly what's causing. It seems to be like pump is engages and pumps some air, but the water is not reaching all the way up. So either there is a break in the line itself, or maybe impellers on the pump are bad. And to determine that, I'll have to remove the pump. But in the meantime, I discovered that my pressure tank, the bladder in it, had developed a hole, and so of course the whole tank was filled with water through the bladder, and I thought I will have to buy a new tank and replace this one. This one is about 10 years old. But then I searched around and I couldn't find anything locally, but Sears does sell replacement bladders for the water tanks, and I didn't know that, so it might be helpful to somebody else. It's a lot cheaper to replace the bladder. I think this one delivered local Sears, and we have a little Sears store in our town. They didn't have them in stock, so I just ordered it from Sears online, and it came in about 5 days or so. So basically, removing it probably was a lot harder than it's going to be putting in. And I probably shouldn't say that before I actually went through the process. But on the bottom of the tank, and this is an 80-gallon tank, the fixture that is attached by bolts to the tank is removable, and that's where you would attach the pipe going to the water coming into the tank and then going out to the house. So basically, it's what, about, I would say 6 inches in diameter or thereabouts, and then the bladder itself is I'm not sure what kind of rubberized plastic, whatever the material is made of, but it's very thick, so it's not very flexible. It was a bear trying to remove it from the opening in the bottom, on the bottom of the tank. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to roll it up and try to squeeze it in by rolling it up. The kind of part that's it should give me a less of a hard time than was putting it in. And by the way, this is the old bladder. I think the inside of the tank is covered with some kind of rust preventing agent, and that's what all this black stuff is. And that's another thing, because the water got in it. It was like really slippery. I had to use the pry bar and kind of like pry it out of that hole. Well, let's see if my calculations will be on the mark about folding it in a tight roll and squeezing it into the hole. Look at it, lined up like it's supposed to. Yeah, the water will get it. Well, it's definitely was easier to put it in than to get it out. But it wasn't exactly a walk in the park either. It's because this bladder is, whatever the material is, it's pretty thick. Do you remember how much it was? Was it like $80 or $90 delivered? Something like that. I don't remember, did we find all of the little nuts? I had 2 with me. How many do you have? 4? You need 4. So 1 is missing, huh? I think we were missing it from the beginning. You put it somewhere. Of course you did. Because the 2 I had, I put it in the pocket. And you were playing around with yours. Mm-hmm. With your nuts. Huh, Dici? Mm-hmm. You were playing with your nuts. Nope. What do you like? Lift it up. That should be good, except maybe a little bit farther this way so it's not going to be all the way on the edge. It's not exactly vertical. We'll have to get the level and adjust it, but in the meantime I want to fill it up with 30 pounds of air and see if we have any leaks. And I'll come back tomorrow and check. Oh, would you bring the gauge? Well, that's about it. It comes from the factory aired to 30 psi, and then of course you set up the pressure. Once the pump pumps the water into the bladder, you set your cutoff switch to, well, depending, I think it's, I set it at 60 psi for my house pressure, and it's been working fine. But in the meantime, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.